It's currently day 26 as of recording this video, and I was finally able to reach level 50 without pulling a single time on any of their banners. So today I wanted to show you my progress in my account, show you how much content I was able to beat, how my character builds look like, and share my experience in Honkai Star Rail as a free-to-play no gacha player. But first, why did I even start this challenge in the first place? As someone who has played Genshin Impact for a very long time, I anticipated that Honkai Star Rail will have a very similar gameplay cycle to Genshin. And what I mean by that is there will be no such thing as unlimited content, especially in the beginning. So if I just willed out just like what I did back in Genshin, I will simply run out of content very fast. Another thing is that winning feels more fun if you actually give yourself a challenge. Yeah, I could just pay $300 or more to get a really strong unit that can carry my account, or instead, I could just use my brain and work with the characters that I have and still win. And the last reason why I decided to do this challenge is that I just wanted to know how it feels like to play a gacha game without the gacha part. So first up, let's go over my light cones. So besides being limited when it comes to character choices, I'm also limited in terms of light cones. As you can see, my only 5-star light cone is the Cruising in the Stellar Sea, and I actually have this at Superimpose 5. I went for this one because I figured that Heng is going to be one of my strongest DPS characters, so it just makes sense for me to go with this light cone to further increase his damage. And as for my other light cones, I basically just use Seriousness of Breakfast on all of my Erudition characters. I got one of these from the secret room in the spaceship, and the two of these were bought from the shop in the Hall of Memories. I also have Past and Future, which I actually got for free from the shop in Shanzhou. And the good thing is that if I ever wanted to get more copies of this item, I can just save up some more fragments so that I can get more copies from the Forgotten Hall shop. And for the rest of the light cones, I have We Are Wildfire, Quid Pro Quo for healers, and I used to use this one for Danhang. I also have this, Fermata, and another copy of We Are Wildfire. And if you're wondering why I'm not superimposing this item, is because they might give us a free character in the future and we'll never know if it's a preservation character or what type. So just in case I need a copy of this item, I just leave this at level 1. As for the 3 stars, I only use Amber right now because this is one of the only better options that I have for March 7. And on the next tab we have the relics, but I'll be going over this in the character section. And next I have a pretty good surplus of other materials because I only make consumables when it's required on the daily missions. And speaking of consumables, I only have the random stuff that we get from the random quests. And I did used to buy this item just because I think it's really good. And back then, I was still fighting some mobs that were pretty strong, so this item does help. And next up we have the valuables, which is the part where most people are actually curious about. So as you can see, I have 125 Star Rail passes, and I only have 20 of the Star Rail Special Pass. Because unlike normal players, you can actually wish and you can get the currencies that you can spend to get the 5 quote-unquote free Star Rail passes in the shop. So if you're a regular player who is wishing, you should have 30 of these saved up if you haven't spent them yet. And next up, I still have my self-modeling resin from the Battle Pass, which I don't plan on using just yet because I will wait until I get a 4-piece or at least get close to a 4-piece set, and then I'll use this on the piece that I'm missing so that I'm not scrambling and worrying about not getting the last piece that I need. And next, I actually have some Undying Starlights, which I'm actually curious because it says that you can only get this from wishing. So maybe if you know where this is from, maybe from some mission that I didn't notice, let me know in the comments below. And next, I only have 12 fuel left because I got really impatient around level 45 and I tried farming for relics for Serval. Not the best idea because I ended up not getting anything usable. And then I have quite a bit of Lucent Afterglow that I can use to buy some more light cones in the Hall of Memory shop. I still have these, which is the currency for the spaceship, because I made the mistake of saving the Eidolon for last. So right now I'm scrambling and trying to get 90 more of these so that I can actually buy it from the shop. So if you are fairly new to the game, make sure that you get the Eidolon first before anything else. And I also have these ones, which is the currency for Belobog, which is not really useful anymore because I already cleared out the shop in Belobog. And before we move on to the characters, I just want to quickly go over the banners to show you that I haven't pulled a single time on any of them. So for this one, I haven't pulled a single time. I still have the 50 over 50. And same thing with this banner, I haven't pulled a single time. Even in the Sila banner, I haven't pulled a single time. Same goes with the light cone banner. And for this one, I actually did pull for Asta during the beginning of the game because I wasn't aware that you can actually skip the pull for Asta. So it's like technically not a 100% no pull account, but I already spent so much time playing and I don't really feel like resetting. And since we went over the banners, I might as well go over the shop just to show that I haven't bought anything. Not active, Starlight Exchange, nothing bought. Embers Exchange, can't buy anything because I don't wish. I don't have these. And Contract Shop, can't buy these. And same goes with the gems, I haven't bought anything. And for the stellar jades, of course we can buy these, but I'm not sure which character I should use it on, but we'll see. So with all that out of the way, we can now move on to the characters. So first up we have the Fire Trailblazer. I mainly use this one over the physical, simply because the Fire Trailblazer is really strong, and there's not many situations where I feel like I need to use the physical just for the breaking. So I'm using this 95% of the time. And for her stats, I basically just go for as much defense as possible, and maybe a bit of HP. And for her light cone, of course, I'm using the We Are Wildfire, which is probably the best option for me. And for the traces, I have this maxed out. Same with the skill, and I left this at level 6, and I'm thinking of leveling this up because her enhanced basic attack is actually really good. But right now, this is not really priority, it's more like a last minute upgrade. And for her bonus abilities, I got both of them because these are really good. This will restore a bit of HP, and this one will simply reduce all the damage taken for your allies, which is really nice. And for the relics, I'm running a 4-piece Knight of Purity Palace, which is the best set for the Fire MC. Her helmet is decent because it does have a defense substat, but aside from that, everything else is kind of just whatever. For the gloves, it's also decent, and this chest piece is actually really good in my opinion because it does have a defense main stat. And for the boots, it's a plus 15 defense main stat piece, and the same thing with the sphere and the link rope. They're both defense main stat, but the only problem is that the 2-piece set is not on the HP, so preferably I would want to switch that out for that. And of course, Eidolons, E5, and hopefully we get this one soon because this is really good in my opinion. And just for the sake of the showcase, I will switch to the physical, but my build for this is not really that good. When I use physical, I switch to the Collapsing Skylight Cone. For the traces, everything's not quite maxed out. And for the relics, I don't really have any farmed relics for the physical. And just like what I said earlier, I am actually missing the 6th Eidolon for the physical MC, so that kinda sucks. And moving on, we have Natasha. I'm basically just building Natasha as a pure healer and nothing else. So for her light cone, she has Quid Pro Quo for traces, level 6 on everything, and the normal attack is pretty much unleveled. And I actually try to unlock both of her bonus abilities as soon as possible because these two are really good. This removes one debuff from your ally, so this is especially useful against Kafka. This one simply increases your healing, so it's overall really nice. And for the relics, I'm running a 4-piece Wandering Cloud set, which is the healer set in the game. And I also have the 2-piece HP set, which is really nice. So as you can see, HP with random substats that don't really help. I left this at +0 because she doesn't really need more attack. Plus the substats aren't even all that, so it would just be a waste if I upgraded this piece. And for the body, I actually managed to get healing bonus. And for the boots, of course I have HP. I have these at +0, but I'm planning on upgrading this as soon as possible once I get more relic upgrade materials. And next up we have Heng. For the stats, he has 1848 attack, 44.6 crit rate, 73.3 crit damage. And for the light cone, of course he has the 5-star hunt one. And for the traces, he has everything maxed out, including 2 of the bonus abilities. And for the relics, he's running a 2-piece attack set, a 2-piece wind bonus, and another 2-piece attack set from the sphere and the rope. So for the headpiece, it's decent. For the gloves, it's kind of just whatever. I'm just using this to unlock the 2-piece bonus from the set. And for the chest piece, it's a crit rate with some crit damage and break effect, which is nice. And for this one, I actually feel like I got lucky because this is a wind damage bonus piece on the attack set. And to pair with that, I have a link rope with the attack main stat, so it's really nice. And of course, Eidolon, surprise surprise, E0. And next up we have Serval. She has 1235 attack, 42.2 crit rate, 83.8 crit damage, so it's decent. And of course for the light cone, just like every other Erudition character in my account, they're using the seriousness of breakfast. For the traces, I have everything leveled up, so the talent, ultimate, and skill, except for the normal attack. I did unlock her bonus ability along with the other things because the 20% increased base chance to shock enemies is actually insane. And if you combine it with their other abilities and you level these up, it actually goes crazy. And for the relics, this is the best that I can get after spending some fuel. I only got a 4-star piece with 1 speed, 2.5 crit rate. And for the hands, I have this, which is kind of just whatever because it rolled kind of weird. For the chest piece, I have a 26.9 crit rate piece. And this is actually depressing because as you can see, It gives lightning damage boost, which is really nice. It has speed, crit damage, effect hit rate, and break effect. It did roll on crit damage mostly, but the problem is that it's on a defense set. It was almost the perfect piece for Serval. And for the link rope, I have break effect, but now I'm switching more towards an actual DPS build, so I will eventually switch this out. Of course, Eidolon's E0. And for March 7, she's not really built. She has a 3-star light cone, which is the best option for me in my opinion. And for the traces, I only max leveled her shield because that's the one that I only ever need. And I decided to stop leveling this up because I noticed that the base chance for freezing the enemy doesn't actually scale as you level this up. And since March 7 doesn't really do that much damage in the first place, so I decided to stop leveling this up. I did unlock the 2 bonus abilities for her kit, and removes 1 debuff from an ally if I need a cleanser for my other team, and this one simply extends the duration of her shield. And for the relics, it's kind of just whatever. It's a bunch of +0 pieces on a Guard of Withering Snow piece, which has really bad substats. And of course, Eidolon's E0. And for Asta, she's not really built, so we're gonna speed through this one. 7 crit rate, 58 crit damage, very bad. And for her light cone, I have Passing Future, which is one of the best ones for any Harmony character. For the traces, level 6 on the talent, level 6 on the ultimate. And for the skill, I have this at level 3, but maybe I'll get some more upgrades on this later on. And then for the basic attack, I will probably leave this at level 2. And bonus abilities, I have this one and this one. And for the relics, I got this for free from one of the missions, and everything is +0 with really bad stats. And coming down to the last two, starting off with Qingque. I'm actually starting to like her playstyle because she makes it very easy to do the daily farming routes in the overworld. But with that said, she only has a bit of attack, 7.5 crit rate, and 59.8 crit damage. But whenever I use her, she can easily get to 5,000 or 6,000 damage just by using her skill, which is kind of insane considering that her stats aren't even all that. For her light cone, she has this, just like every other Erudition character that I have. And her traces, I have level 6 on the talent, 4 on the basic, 3 on the ultimate, and 5 on the skill. And I actually unlocked 2 of these because I needed more DPS in the second team in the Forgotten Hall. And as for the relics, she's running the 4-piece attack set, and it's kind of just random substats, which is not very useful. And of course, Eidolon's E0. And lastly, we have Herta. Along with Qingque, I actually use Herta a lot because she makes it very easy and very fun to clear all the mobs in the overworld. And as expected, her light cone is the seriousness of breakfast. For Herta's traces, I have her skill at level 8, this at level 3, level 5, and normal attack at level 3. For the relics, I'm using the free ice set from the missions, and everything's kind of just throwaways that will eventually get replaced once I actually have time and resources to actually farm some decent pieces for her. And lastly, we have the Eidolons, and I have her at E3 because you can get her copies for free just by progressing in the simulated universe. And speaking of simulated universe, let's talk about the different worlds and which ones I actually had trouble with. So right now, the most difficult stage that I was able to beat was World 3 Difficulty 2. All of the difficulty ones were pretty easy, maybe aside from the Kafka fight and World 6. World 6 was pretty insane and it took me a long time before I beat it, but I managed to clear this at around Trailblazer 43. And next up, let's move on to the Forgotten Hall. As you can see, I managed to perfectly clear some stages here, but it started to be a bit more difficult once I hit stage 12. Because once you complete stage 10, you now have to use 2 different teams. I might have to go back and redo this because this will surely be doable, especially considering that I'm level 60 and the enemies are 57. I was able to beat everything, but the only thing is that I don't have the perfect stars yet. And as for the Memory of Chaos, this is extremely hard. And I haven't even attempted this because, for one, I fear for my life because they're level 60 and this is level 68. And even whales are having a difficult time against this, so me not pulling on the banners, what can I do, right? But we'll have to see. I will test this out sometime this week and hopefully I push some levels, if not a lot of levels. And that's me being very hopeful. But hopefully I can get some stars so that I can get some of these rewards, which is really nice. So yeah, that's pretty much my progress during this No Gacha challenge. I wasn't really sure what to make for this video, but you guys let me know what you want to see if you have any questions so that I can make another video if you're interested. Right now, my goal is to farm some more resources because I just hit level 50 and I'm about to do my Equilibrium mission so that I can get more ascensions on my items and my characters. But my goal from 50 to 60, is to get as much guaranteed upgrades as possible, because as much as I want to farm relics, the upgrades during this point is actually very expensive, so I want to use my energy for that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Let me know if you want to see any specific things on this account. I'll be more than happy to make a video about that. With that being said, if you like what you see, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.